Quick video. Um, I don't get the dislike of Star Trek Discovery. I watched the first season and it's okay. I mean, sure the Klingons look different and stuff, and I'm getting sick of that argument about Klingons. I am a big huge fan of the original Star Trek. Big huge fan, and even though the next generation was sort of more or less my kind of my generation, it was okay, but it never moved me as much as I had that compassion for Kirk. But I know some fans that when it came to something like Enterprise, they were a wee bit annoyed because the Klingons still had this skin thing, and that was only really invented, the head stuff, and that was only invented for the movie. And not only that, but it was like 20 odd years later from the original series, so makeup and money and budget moved on, and of course to try and please the fans, they came up with a story and put it in the series about, oh, that was a bad time and the Klingons and stuff like that. So I just thought, no, that's too geeky. I can tell it was just by makeup, and not only that, every Star Trek series, I like to try and think that it's different, that it's going to bring you something new, some different feel, and that's what I felt like the Discovery did. Now, granted, when I spoke to somebody who was really big on Star Trek, I must have had like every box set and episodes of it. I mean, I loved the movies. I love the Star Trek movies, and the up to date ones as well. But he says it was quite similar to older stories, and the movies that came out, the recent movies, they were rehashing the older stuff as well, like Can. And I thought, well, no, it's a different take on it, it's a different look at it. So I had no problems with it. It stayed true to the characters and everything else. And then I see posts about people saying Orville is more Star Trek than Discovery. I went, now don't get me wrong, Orville's okay, but really, let's face it, it's almost like that film Galaxy Quest. And if you've never heard of Galaxy Quest, I'll try and leave a link at the end of this video, because it's just tongue-cheek humour, slapstick, a little bit of depth. But when I watched Discovery, it was something new, and you were wondering if it was a different dimension, a different world, or whatever. What timeline was it in? It gave you mysteries. And now, as you start with season 1, you're wondering what's going on with Spock, and there's nothing wrong with Spock having some sort of an adopted sister. I don't, because it's just building on the mythos, and that's what gets me is, I spoke to one of my brother-in-law who's got all the Star Trek episodes, right, and he made the family sit down and watch every one, of the new generation and stuff, the next generation, but he couldn't fathom when he watched the Star Trek movies that the timeline had changed, because the past had changed, and this is why we're getting a new Can. So, so there are some people out there that just can't grasp that sort of change, and how could you have watched that movie and not realise that they can go anywhere with these characters now? Kirk was a captain a lot sooner. So all those sort of changes made it dynamic, that Kirk wasn't Kirk because he was a younger Kirk being in the charge of the Enterprise. Anyway, I'm drifting off subject. So now we have the Discovery, which, I mean, forget the cast members, right? Forget all this stuff about the women claiming that you don't like it because it's a black woman. I'm sick of that, as you can tell. But I'm just going on to the story, and for me, if there's a chance to see a younger Kirk again, but a different way of looking at him, You know, I mean, I've just seen Pike, and you know, as long as there's not any feminism coming in, and that somehow, you know, Pike starts suddenly saying that this woman is much better of a pilot. As long as it doesn't go down that route, I'm fine with it. But no, there is no way that Orville is Star Trek. To be honest, it probably, I don't know if you can call it a spin-off, but maybe it's a homage to the legacy of Star Trek. But in no way is it Star Trek. Star Trek, Star Trek, Star Trek. If it doesn't have Starfleet in it, and their ongoing missions to seek out new life and new civilization, or it doesn't have Klingons or Vulcans in it, then it's no Star Trek. So check Galaxy Quest out, and just give, for me, let's stop on morning. If you're a fan of Star Trek, then enjoy it for what it is, and it's a different way of looking at it. Different way. So let me know what you think, if you like Discovery or whatnot, or if you don't. But me, yep, I loved the first season, and I'm interested in the segment, and I quite like the fact that it's a 15 certificate. You know, only 15 years or older can watch it over here, and I'm interested in where it's going to go. And I always get excited when I hear that little bit of Star Trek theme tune coming in. And of course, we now have Spock with a beard and a moustache, and where is he going? And I want to get, what is this version of Spock's relationship with his father and his sister, because as a young boy, didn't like it. So anyway, let us know your thoughts and feelings. So if I spoiled anything, I just had to get out, because I'm sick of the attitude towards Star Trek Discovery, probably coming from Star Trek fans, and you're probably thinking, I'm not a Star Trek fan. Right, well, look up there, I don't know if you see it, Kirk and Enterprise, okay, and I've got all the box sets, so, and I've got books on them, so yeah, I'm a Star Trek fan. Okay, thank you. This is DC Vigilante speaking my truth. Thank you.